Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today guys, many things to say, from Liverpool to Manchester United, Tottenham, breaking news and more, also on Arsenal and other clubs. Let's jump into it together. And so guys, important day for managers. Many updates on managers. I start with Inter because Christian Chivu is the new Inter coach, signed this contract right now, 2-year deal to replace Simone Inzaghi. But the breaking news of the day is at Tottenham Hotspur, because Daniel Levy, Tottenham chairman, despite winning the Europa League, despite getting back to Champions League football, despite the first trophy in 17 years, decides to fire the manager, Ange Postecoglou, out, sacked by Tottenham, and now they're looking for a new head coach. Why? Because Daniel Levy decides to give power to, in terms of decision, to what he saw in the Premier League, a terrible season for Tottenham in the Premier League, but a fantastic European season, winning a trophy. And so in this balance, Daniel Levy decides to take into consideration what happened in the domestic league, and so decides to fire Ange Postecoglou. Conversations will start soon with the leading candidate, Thomas Frank, who did a fantastic job at Brentford. So let's see how the conversation will go between Brentford and Tottenham, but Thomas Frank is the first option in the list. Another option in the list is Marco Silva. Tottenham were also showing interest in Simone Inzaghi before he signed his contract at Hilal. Then it was impossible to compare the financial proposals. And also important now to see what happens in terms of timing, because probably this will go into next week. But Thomas Frank, leading candidate. Marco Silva, appreciated after the great job he did at Fulham recently. And let's see what Tottenham will decide to do for the new head coach. Many movements, guys, in these hours, in these days. I want to touch also on Liverpool, because I know Liverpool fans are waiting for this. Here we go, and don't worry, guys, because the Here We Go are coming soon. Updates. So, Milos Kerkez, next week, new meeting will take place, at least this is the anticipation I have, between Bournemouth and Liverpool to close the deal for Milos Kerkez. So I expect Kerkez to go to Liverpool. There is one more meeting to take place, and then Liverpool are expected to close this deal for Milos Kerkez, agreement done with the player. But the big one is obviously Florian Wirtz, and I can tell you that there were new contacts in the last 48 hours, and Liverpool are getting there for Florian Wirtz. The deal is close to being done, just some final details to sort, but the majority of the details on the transfer fee, the add-ons, the whole package are being sorted. So almost there for Florian Wirtz to Liverpool. The Here We Go is expected soon. Medical tests can take place next week, it's true. Wirtz is ready. He wants to go to Liverpool. Let me clarify one thing. Florian Wirtz never, ever, as he confirmed, but it's a reality, never, ever asked for a shirt number or to take the shirt number from another player at Liverpool. Never. He's not that kind of guy. He's completely different kind of guy. He's never been arrogant. So Florian Wirtz is fully focused now on the German national team and for future on Liverpool. He told Bayer Leverkusen that he only wants to go to Liverpool, so let's be a bit more patient, and then we will have a club record deal, probably for what I'm hearing, more than 130 million euros for Florian Wirtz to join Liverpool. So moving in the right direction on this one. Moving on the right direction also Manchester City and Olympique Lyon for Ryan Cherki. The first bid has been rejected. Olympique Lyon want more than 30 million euros, but this deal is advancing. Ryan Cherki only wants to go to Man City, and he's in a rush to be a Man City player. He wants to go to the World Cup for Manchester City and win Manchester City and with Pep Guardiola. And so the player is pushing a lot. The two clubs negotiating. Let's see how long it takes, but I expect Ryan Cherki to be a Manchester City player this summer after Ait Nouri, medical tomorrow, Gianni Reinders, medical on Sunday. On the other side of Manchester, today, Man United and Brentford back in club-to-club talks for Bryan Mbeumo. After the first bid, 45 plus 10 million pounds rejected by Brentford, the two clubs are in contact again. Let's wait to see when the official bid will come from Man United, but it will get closer to what Brentford want. Brentford started from 70 million pounds, then as always in negotiations they can drop the pricing for something close to what Man United paid for Mateusz Cunha, 62.5 million pounds. So let's see around 60-65 could be enough to convince Brentford. Let's see now how the conversation will go, how much Man United will offer in terms of fixed fee and also add-ons. This is also a factor in this story, but Bryan Mbeumo wants to go to Manchester United. This is the desire of the player. He wants to wear the shirt of Man United. He wants to play at Old Trafford. Despite approaches from Newcastle, Arsenal and more clubs, his priority is Manchester United. He has an agreement with Manchester United and now working to get the deal done club to club. Man United are accelerating. Cunha, has arrived, and then they want to add one more special player like Bryan Mbeumo behind the striker, because they also want a striker for this summer transfer window. And remember, my exclusive story, I remember it was the day of the Europa League final in Bilbao between Man United and Tottenham. Before that final, I told you that Inter are keen on Rasmus Højlund, and I maintain my position. Inter want Højlund. Let's see if club to club they can find a way, but he's on Inter list. Then for Arsenal, guys, important to say the updates of the day. Arsenal are advancing very well on a deal to sign Benjamin Šeško. Last week I came here and I told you Arsenal have started concrete talks club to club and with player side for Benjamin Šeško. Still nothing agreed. This week, Friday, I come here and tell you that Arsenal are advancing well in these negotiations with the club and also with the player in terms of transfer fee with Leipzig, but also in terms of salary and contract with the player. So advancing very well. There were several meetings from Monday to Thursday between Šeško, his agent, and obviously Red Bull Leipzig to discuss the exit, but also with Arsenal to be ready on this deal. The conversation is now very advanced. Still nothing agreed yet. My understanding is that this weekend should be quiet in terms of agreements. Then, next week, any moment could be good for the breakthrough and for Benjamin Šeško to become the new striker of Arsenal. So the conversation is going very well. The player is keen on the move, sold on the project of Mikel Arteta, now working on the details of this deal. Club side, player side, contract, commission, every single detail, but advancing very well. And so in the next days, concrete possibilities to see Benjamin Šeško getting closer, maybe completing his move to Arsenal. And then, guys, important to say that at the moment, the other situation on Arsenal side, Viktor Gyökeres, the other name in the list of Arsenal, at the moment the situation is still not developing. At the moment, Arsenal are focused on Benjamin Šeško, discussing, advancing for Benjamin Šeško. For Viktor Gyökeres, I'm not aware of official bid from Arsenal or any sort of agreement. He remains a player on Arsenal's shortlist. Maybe something could go wrong for Šeško, so he remains a player appreciated internally, but at the moment, the priority negotiation, the priority conversation for Arsenal is clearly for Benjamin Šeško, a player they wanted to sign 1 year ago, summer 2024. That was not possible. Šeško decided to sign a new deal at Red Bull Leipzig, and then they tried again in the January transfer window, but Benjamin Šeško also knew that Leipzig were never gonna let him leave mid-season. So nothing happened for that story, nothing happened in January, nothing happened last summer. This summer could be different, because the Gyokeres situation with Arsenal at the moment is quiet, and the Šeško situation is really getting concrete and advanced. Let's see if they will be able to close this deal, but for sure, Benjamin Šeško in this moment, the priority target for Arsenal. So, guys, let me know your thoughts on all these stories from Tottenham, who is the ideal coach for them after firing Ange Postecoglou, and then Wirtz, Cherki, Šeško, Gyokeres, and more. Also, Bryan Mbeumo, guys, let me know your opinion here. Remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon.